Jai Shri Krishna. We are going to start a new chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita from this Friday. That will be chapter 8, the Akshara Param Yoga, or the Yoga of the Imperishable Absolute. And in this chapter essentially, Bhagwan Shree Krishna will impart the spiritual wisdom to Arjuna about the eternal nature of the soul, about the process of death and the path to the divine. He will explain that the soul is eternal and indestructible. It neither takes birth nor does it die. It undergoes cycles of reincarnation, moving from one body to another. The wise person who understands this concept of the eternal nature will not be disturbed by the fact that the physical body appears and disappears respectively during birth and after death. Bhagwan Shree Krishna will emphasize the importance of unwavering devotion and knowledge in achieving liberation, that is moksha. He will describe the two paths to the divine, the path of knowledge, the Jnana Yoga, and the path of devotion, Bhakti Yoga. Both paths lead to spiritual realization, but he explains that the path of devotion, Bhakti Yoga, which is filled with love and surrender, is superior and more accessible to most people. He will also deal with another important aspect, the importance of constant remembrance. Bhagwan Shree Krishna advises the practice of constant remembrance, that is smaran, and particularly at the time of death. Because one who departs the body with a focused mind on the divine will attain the supreme goal and is liberated from the cycle of birth and death. He will at some point also reveal to Arjuna his universal form, Vishwarup Sarupa, and displaying his cosmic and divine presence. This vision signifies the omnipresence and the all-encompassing nature of the Supreme Being. The chapter will also conclude with Bhagwan Shree Krishna explaining that those who reach him do not reincarnate. By meditating on the divine and fixing their consciousness on the Supreme, individuals merge with the ultimate reality Brahman and attain liberation. So, in few words, this chapter 8 will give us, or rather will emphasize, on the eternal nature of the soul, on the significance of devotion and knowledge, on the practice of constant remembrance of the divine, on the vision of the universal form, and the ultimate goal of attaining oneness with the Supreme Brahman. Jai Shri Krishna, and welcome to chapter 8. Devam Sutan Devam Kansachanurmardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Namaste, namaste, Sadhguru.
Continuation of chapter 7, which deals with Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam. There are a number of terms that Lord Krishna has used in chapter 7. Arjuna Uvacha, King. Arjuna is asking question, Kim Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Kim Karma Purushottama. Adhibhutam cha Kim Proktam. Adhidevam Kimuchyate. And he further inquires, Adhiyadya katham kotra dehesmin man madhusudana prayanakale cha katham jeyasi niyatatmabhihi niyat atmabhihi. So he's asking what are these terms? In fact, there are 6 questions plus one last. He has he's inquiring on 6 subject matters, plus at the end he's asking Lord Krishna at the last moment, at the moment of death, how does your devotee remember you? So Sri Bhagwan Vacha, Lord Krishna says, Aksharam Brahma Param Swabhavo Adhyatma Uchyate Bhuta Bhavo Bhavakaro Visarga Karma Sanjnitaha. He is saying that the Supreme Lord is indestructible, and he is the transcendental living entity called Brahman. Akshar Brahman. He is Akshar. Akshar means indestructible, and he is Brahman. Brahman is the Lord is manifesting himself everywhere. Everywhere he is manifesting in the form of Akshar Brahma. And he is Adhyatma, he is spiritual. And together with him, the Atma is also Adhyatma. The soul is also spiritual. Now, out of this, Akshar Brahma is produced what we call Bhuta. Bhuta means material manifestation. Adhibhutam Sharo Bhava Purushasthadhidevatam Adhiyajyo Hamo Vatra Dehe Dehavritamvara. So he's saying that Adhibhutam, the physical manifestation, is Kshara. It is constantly changing and it is subject to destruction. Purushaha, the universal form, the universal Purush, what we are calling Brahma, including all the demigods, sun and like the sun and moon, all are Adhidaiva. Adhidaivatam, meaning all the demigods are referred to as Adhidaiva. And I, Krishna, Aham, Dehe, Atra, I reside in this body, Deha Bhritams, all the embodied. I reside in the body, all the embodied. The embodied is the Atma. The embodied is the soul. And we come to the main slok of this of tonight. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayaha. Antakale cha mameva, at the last moment, remembering me alone. Smaran muktva. Smaran means remembering. Muktva, after, at the time of leaving. Muktva kalevaram. Kalevaram means body. Attention. Jai Shri Krishna.
comprises Ishwar in its supreme state. The essence of the sum total of the entire thoughts and feelings that have been taking place in the mind of a man during his span of life tends condensed into a single state of mind at the time of his departure from the body. To affect the thought of Lord at the last moment is therefore nearly impossible, because preparation for it has to go all through the life. He who is absorbed in the thought of God while departing from the body gets merged in cosmic consciousness. And this is mukti, getting which there is no more return to the tidus, to this wearisome and tidus life. This is universal law. There is no need to doubt about it. But one thing is very interesting to ask is what happens to those who do not think of God, of Lord, but they get fixed in other thoughts? I hope hopefully we can treat without after chapter.
Jai Shri Krishna. We are now starting our discussions on chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. Let us just recall chapter 7 was knowledge of the absolute. Look at this beautiful merging of knowledge of the absolute, knowing the absolute, and then how do we attain the absolute? And the first 4 verses talk about who we are, what is our status, and at the time, Slok 5 says, at the time of leaving, if you remember me. There's an if there. And that is the big question. How do we remember Lord, as our friend has mentioned, when we are in the cosmic manifestation of life? There is a transition to be understood and made. And that transition doesn't come because we wish it. That transition can happen when we experience it. And experience it how? Even here the Lord has clarified and simplified it for us. Think about me, and whatever you do, don't think about fruitive activities. Now, the fact we have done it in other chapters, if we think about, if we are away from fruitive activities, already we are going towards more of consciousness, transcendental consciousness, meaning devotional service in transcendental consciousness. So the steps are clear. And finally, in Slok 5, the Lord even oversimplifies it for us. Just keep on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, whenever and wherever you are. And when you do that smaran, you hear about it. That is very important. You keep hearing. And that will, at the time of death, because you have been doing it always, at all times, the same kind of thinking and same kind of practice will come at the time of death.
Antakale chamameva, antakale chamameva smaran, muktva kalevaram, yah prayati sa mat bhavam, yati nastyatra samshaya. What it means is, antakali. Kal is time. Antakali is at the final time. The last, that is, in other words, at the time of death. That's Antakali. It says that Mameva Smaran. So if you're thinking of me alone, you're doing the smaran of me alone at the last moment of your life, last meeting, muktva kalevaram, casting away the body while you're putting away that you're leaving. Because when लोग हमको स्मरण करते हैं उनको भगवान को मुक्तवा कलेवरम, and he is freed from the body. Yat prayati was one who dies like that. That is, at the last moment, when he's leaving his body, he or she is thinking of Bhagwan, right? Samat bhavam yati, he or she attains my being. This is it. Yes, yatra samasya, there is no doubt about it. He is giving us an assurance that if we are able at our last moment to think of Bhagwan, have his smaran, if you're doing that, then you can reach moksha. This is what it says. But it is not that easy job. As you have said, the other point that it shows here, that when somebody is at the last moment in this world, leaving the body, in other words, what comes in is a self, because you know, the self in ourself, Atma, the soul, this is indestructible. It is there, you can't destroy it. It means that it has to go somewhere else, but you have to guide them where to go. This can